Good afternoon, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mario Kart 64, originally released for the Nintendo 64, but I have also extensively played the Wii Virtual Console and Wii U Virtual Console versions, so I have had my fill of every official version of this game that has ever existed, and hopefully there will be more, because I would love to see an improvement to this. So, I had really fond nostalgic memories of Mario Kart 64. For a while, I was one of those super impulsive, opinionated people that said Mario Kart 64 is the untouchable king of Mario Kart and nothing can ever compete. Then Mario Kart 8 came out, but I was like that for that many games straight, if you know how many sequels this game had until Mario Kart 8 came along. However, over the years, I've been putting off reviewing it because I realized that nostalgia glasses is a terrible critic for video games. And now that I've had time to examine this game more, especially after getting it on the Wii U Virtual Console for my birthday, so thank you, my wonderful brother, it's time to really see why this game does not hold up very well on closer scrutiny. So, obviously, controls for a Mario Kart game are going to be a matter of taste. Some people prefer a certain way a game handles more than others. But I don't think it's fair to say that there's a person alive that prefers Mario Kart's way of punishing excessive control. If you're trying to straighten yourself out on a tight alleyway, or if you constantly bang into things, it's one thing if your kart slows down, but it's another if you spin out entirely because you're just moving the stick too much. I mean, isn't that the point of gaming? To adjust yourself properly in 3D space? Not only that, but you also get penalized if you're holding down the accelerate button as you're being picked up from falling off of the course, which itself takes forever. Then if you accidentally try to hold down the A button so you can get right into accelerating, you'll spin out there too. That would be like if you wake up from a nap and you all of a sudden spin in circles because you got up too quickly. Okay, maybe that's realistic, but it doesn't make the game fun. Other little glitches that pervade Mario Kart 64 are the fact that when you play multiplayer, only player 1 has sound, so everyone else is muted. There's also bombs that appear when you play versus mode in 3 or 4 player mode, so that if you're trying to get through the screen, not only is the screen crunched to begin with, so it's really hard to see, but you also have these bombs coming out of nowhere. Not bombs, yellow bombs to blow up your progress. And it just feels like an ugly polygonal mess with that in mind. Now, a couple of silver linings if you think I'm just ripping this game to shreds. When you master its drift mechanic, it really is for the most part pretty well done. I played Mario Kart DS shortly after recording this, and I found that this game doesn't actively try to fight you on drifting like that one does. And while it's certainly been perfected, I feel like the series really got its start here. Also, the cast of characters did not overstay its welcome like future entries. And even though there's no stat screen to say what the difference between each character is, I feel like that's pretty evident just by looking at the models, which are admittedly not that great by today's standards, but you can tell that Bowser's the big, burly, slow guy, and since Toad is so small, he's going to be fast but easy to knock off. So, the small roster means that you're going to have someone unique for every single character, and you're not going to feel like you were cheated out of a character slot because they didn't bother animating the models in the race, which is probably one of the most dated aspects of this entire game. You basically have static 2D images that are fully rotatable throughout the whole race that don't even celebrate during the victory screen. Even in Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, they busted open a bottle of champagne, or celebration juice in the American version, but here they just pop up on a stand of 1, 2, 3. A fish spits out a trophy, which the fish isn't really animated either, and I don't know, it feels like if there were corners that needed to be cut, Mario Kart 64 did whatever it took to make sure that this game got out, even if part of it had to suffer as a result. So we've got an overuse of tracks with the Luigi Circuit theme. You've got Yoshi Valley, which is cool in concept, but because it has branching paths, the computer can't keep up with all of the players. You've got a battle mode that requires you to be with other people, which actually this is one of the better battle modes in the series. If Mario Kart 8 Deluxe hadn't come out, I would have said this is still untouchable. As it is, I could not test this on footage because the Wii U Virtual Console version doesn't give me enough controllers to have an option. There's also this really weird way that the game handles saving, where if you want to record your ghost data so you can race against yourself, you have to insert a separate memory card into the Nintendo 64's Rumble Pack slot, which, of course, as you can probably imagine, is impossible on the Virtual Console versions. So, a standard feature of most modern Mario Karts is locked behind, I guess you could call it 1997's version of DLC, which is weird because the rest of the game doesn't require a memory card, but then again, it doesn't really need to because pretty much everything is included at the start. As soon as you boot up the game, you have all of the characters, all of the carts, again, not saying much because cart customization hadn't happened yet, and you can go to any of the Grand Prix. You don't have to unlock pretty much anything. The only things that there are to get are mirror mode, which is called extra mode in this game, and a new title screen. Yeah, completionists are going to have a real easy time with this, which is great for a multiplayer-centric console like the Nintendo 64, which encourages you to play more with people than it does to play by yourself, as evident by the total lack of a story mode in this game. But if you're playing it on the Virtual Console, you're probably going to wish this had a bit more substance, as unless you happen to have a classic controller or GameCube controller, if you already downloaded the Wii version, you're out of luck. It doesn't offer much for single player. Overall, compared to every other Mario Kart game out there, this is definitely one of the weaker entries, and I would not have said that several years ago, but unfortunately, like I said, nostalgia really blinds you, and as you get older, you have to look at things with a more critical eye. The music is still pretty good, especially the iconic Rainbow Road track, but there's nothing that this game did that hasn't been done better in another Mario Kart. So ultimately, it feels like a great piece of Nintendo's history. I mean, this basically introduced the 3D kart racer genre. But its sequels have improved on it in literally every way, and it must have had really bad courses, because at this point, every course in this game, except for Wario Stadium, has been remade in another Mario Kart game. So, yay for that. With that, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or critiques, please let me know in the comment section. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and Paul, talk about items the next time you review Mario Kart. Bye!